All right, listen up, Pipsqueak, because I have multiple dropshipping stores doing over $1,000 a day, including my main store right here that's doing over $150K a month that I'm going to sell for six figures down the line so that I can buy my Porsche 911 and get my gold-digging Sofia Vergara baddie wife. Now, if you're wondering, Ethan, how do you get to this level with all of your stores? Well, it's because my website's crush. I consistently am making over $2 per visitor on my store, while my competitors can barely make a quarter of that on theirs. So today, I'm going to give you 5 expert tips that I've learned from all of my stores and from analyzing thousands of my student stores so that you can improve your conversion rate and make more money from every single visitor. Now, if you want to scale a dropshipping brand to $1,000 a day, then you have to realize that the 20% of actions that deliver 80% of the results is your offer. If you have a great offer, almost nothing else on your website really matters. And to illustrate my point, this is the highest performing dropshipping website I've ever seen, called Vortex. It makes $9 per visitor. Every time a visitor lands on here, the website makes around $9, which, for reference, the average dropshipping website makes around 50 cents a visitor. So this is performing nearly 20x greater than most websites. And as you can see, the copy, it's terrible. The images are generic. The product demo, the comparison charts, nothing here really stands out to you as a professional, bulletproof, $1 million website, because it's honestly pretty bad. But the one thing that is absolutely carrying these guys is that they have an amazing offer. They're doing a volume discount play, and they have split tested multiple prices to find out that this offer right here is just what's working the best for them. So let's talk about the general rules when it comes to offers. And that first thing is you have to be able to scale this profitably with paid ads. So for me, my offers need to at least have a $25 profit margin and have a 66% gross profit margin. So let me show you with this KPI calculator down below that, as you can see, if I'm selling something that cost me $50 to fulfill, I'm selling it for $150, then that matches all of my rules of having my gross profit margin of at least 65%. And of course, yeah, the margin is over $100. However, let's say I wanted to sell this product for only $100. Well, my gross profit is now 50%. So that isn't really meeting my KPIs. So I would not want to sell a product where I could only sell it for $100. I'd have to figure out a way to make that perceived value greater so that I can charge a greater price. So with most dropshippers, they're usually selling a product that costs them about $10. They'll try to sell it for $29. And I'd say, sure, that does meet my gross profit margin, but that isn't meeting my $25 margin rules. So that's the two things I want to keep in mind whenever I'm crafting any offer in the beginning. And once you have that down, you need to figure out next, what type of structure should we do for our offer? Because there's multiple things you can do. If I go to my website right here, I have a BOGO offer on these glasses because they only cost me $4 and I sold them for $30. So I still have all my criteria met, and it's very enticing because the perceived values, wow, 2 glasses for $30. That means each glasses for me as a customer is only $15. So that's a way better offer than if I just sold one for $24 or $29 on its own. Now, other things you can do besides BOGO is doing a complimentary product. So for me, I was selling this shower head filter, and I knew that people were going to need more filter sets to go along with their main shower head. So for me, I did this 10-piece set that would basically be around 6 months worth of filters that they would get for free when they bought my product, compared to if they went to my competition, they would have to add this as an upsell, it'll cost them more money. So there's multiple ways you can increase the perceived value of your offer by either doing complimentary products, which if you look up your product on Amazon or Temu, you can see what the recommended products, what people bought that were similar to this, and use that as potential upsells if they're a little bit on the cheaper end. I usually will have my complimentary products be something that's about $5 max to fulfill, so that way it doesn't hurt my margins too much. And then typically the other offer structure you can do is a volume discount play. So if I have buy one for $29, usually I'll do buy two and you save a certain amount. It could be 15%, 20%, really depends on what your margins are like. I usually will aim for about 15 to 20%, and then for buying 3, they get around a 25% discount. And if you're wondering what apps do I use for this, we'll talk about that later on in the video. But this one right here is Kaching Bundles, and we have a full video about upsells that I'll link down below so that you guys can take a look at that later on. Now, outside of those main offers, the final one that's become a real big hip craze in dropshipping in 2024 is doing the low upfront plus high shipping. So let's say, for instance, with this shower head filter, it's costing me $5 and I know I need to at least be selling it for $30. Now, I could do that by charging $29.99 on the product page and then doing free shipping, and then yes, my average order value is $30. But what most people are doing nowadays is they'll do a low upfront, where instead of charging people all the money upfront that they need to reach that AOV goal, they'll do a lower upfront offer that's more enticing to get people down your funnel to the checkout page, and then at that final step, you'll charge them either $5 shipping, $10 shipping, and usually max you'll do $15 shipping. So I could probably sell this for $19 and charge $10 on the shipping page, and it still gets that $30. We're just breaking up the price in different ways. So those are typically the 3 different offer structures that you should be playing around with when you're testing a product. Now, the final way to improve your conversion rate with your offer is understanding the price value gap. The greater the value someone is receiving compared to the price they're paying, the more likely they are to convert. However, most people will charge a price that they think is fair without really understanding what the value is that people perceive your product to be. So when you're doing research, you should always know, all right, if I'm selling this water bottle, what's the general market for water bottles? What are people generally paying? And that should be around the average price point that I'm currently at. And if I am charging more than that, then how do I justify that decision? Is there more value? Is there a unique selling point about my water bottle that others don't have? So that's usually something you're going to talk about in your copywriting. But a general rule of thumb is that if I'm charging a certain amount for a product, I want to communicate that the value my customer is getting is at least 5 to 10x greater than what they are paying. And you can only do that typically through great copywriting. And that'll be our next point. But the final thing you could do on the offer page is that if we look at this fitness hula hoop, we see that their offer is lose a link in 90 days or get a full refund. So they basically just have a 90-day money back guarantee, which most people will have. But if we look at a competitor, they're basically just saying try it risk-free for 90 days, which is exactly the same thing. It's a 90-day money-back guarantee, but this one is stronger. In fact, it improves the perceived value of the offer because it's not just you can try it for 90 days. It's lose a link, get the benefit, get the desire, or we will refund you, which is so much stronger than if you just say, here's a 90-day money-back guarantee. And I got to give these people some bonus points because they also are using Sezzle, so you can break down the payments in 4, which again, will make it easier for people to convert, which is incredibly smart compared to the competitors that aren't really offering anything like that. All right, quick timeout. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Make sure to leave a like if you are. But if you do want to actually shortcut your learning curve when it comes to building your websites, testing products, and scaling to $1,000 a day in the next 90 days, then I would recommend having a one-on-one coach that will actually look at your website every time you test a product and tell you what you should be improving on, how you can improve your ad creatives, and also making sure that you choose a product that can scale, because in a lot of cases, you don't want to waste your time, months of time, and thousands of dollars testing products that just never had a chance to work in the first place. So if you're kind of lost and you haven't seen any results so far in your dropshipping journey, then I would recommend applying down below to my one-on-one coaching program, where you will get a coach that is dedicated to you, that will answer all of your questions, that will give you the support and give you the experience that you are going to need to leverage in order to see results as soon as possible and shortcut the learning curve and all of the trial and error. Along with that, you also get 5 group calls a week, every single weekday, to talk to me, get your questions answered, and learn what our other students that are scaling to 5, 10, 20 grand days, even like my student Matt, are doing to get to those levels. So if you're interested in applying for that program, click the link down in my description and book a call with my team, and we'll see if you're a good fit to become our next case study. All right, so let's get to point number 2, which is your copywriting. And for most of you that are high school dropouts and smoke weed and also have the IQ level of a chimpanzee, I'm going to give you some basic guidelines and tips for how to improve your copywriting, even if you really have no experience whatsoever. Now, the first things to keep in mind is you don't want to sound like a robot. Most people, when they're writing their description, copy from ChatGPT, they copy from their competitors, and they can't come up with an original thought on their own. You do not want to be that person. And typically, the best copywriting is just being relatable to your target audience. It's understanding them. And the only way you can understand your audience is through going on Amazon, looking up videos, and seeing what people are saying about your product. Why are they buying your product? What are they looking to get out of it? What are their pain points? What are their desires? Because people don't buy products for the sake of having products. They buy products for the solution they provide, the transformation. You don't sell the flight, you sell the destination. You don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle. But you can't sell the sizzle if you don't know what the sizzle is for your target audience in the first place. So that's where you have to dive deep, understand them at a fundamental level, and then relate to them. And typically the best way to relate to your audience and really show that you understand them is through dumbing down your copy. Because for most beginners, you get too fancy with it. You get too sophisticated. You sound like a robot. You do not sound like a human that has empathy and has feelings. You sound like a serial killer Russian guy. So let's look at some examples of great descriptions. Now for me, Lumi, Nude, both of these are great because they understand the pulse of their audience, exactly what they want. Now, let's look at the flash here. This is a $169 product. That is a hard sell. This is not an impulse buy by any means. So how are they going to communicate to their target audience through their copywriting that this is worth the price? Well, visible results in just 3 weeks. Awesome. So fast, easy, simple to use. And that's typically the best way to increase perceived value, is convincing your audience that your solution is the fastest, easiest, most pain-free way to get their desired result compared to all the alternative options. So I'm glad that they hit on that. We got pain-free right on the mark, quick treatments, permanently removes hair. That's a great benefit right there. And then as we scroll on down, look at the copy. It's basically written at a 7th grade level, which is what the average human being can read at, the average adult. So you want to keep it simple, and anyone who is even a layman should be able to understand what you are saying. Like if we look at this copy, it says this flashes at 10 ms, which for me, I have no clue what the hell that actually means. So they dumb it down in the next sentence by saying this means it's less likely to be absorbed by the melanin in your skin and more by the melanin in your hair for safer, more effective at-home treatments. And they got some social proof with the doctor right here. So they keep it really simple. And if you look at another one of their competitors, get ready for smooth, hair-free skin that stays that way. And these are both 7-8-figure brands in this exact space. So they understand what copy really resonates with your audience. So great copy, great benefit and transformation that their target audience wants. The number one removal solution that permanently stops body hair, awesome, because that's a desired result from growing wherever you don't want it to, armpits, legs, face. So many different use cases, see noticeable results in 3 weeks. So again, nice time frame there, and I'm sure they have a guarantee that's based on that time frame as well. So yeah, 90-day returns if you're not happy with your results. Now, the final thing I want to yap about when it comes to copywriting is WIFM. What is in it for me? Which is the only question that your target audience will be thinking when they are reading your description. So every single line has to answer that question. Otherwise, it's a sentence that you shouldn't have in your description, and you should just think about shortening things down, which is also a great way of writing descriptions, just shortening it down to the basics. So if we look at nude here, this sentence is the flasher permanently reduces the regrowth of unwanted hair. So okay, cool, benefit for me. I understand how that's beneficial without breaking the bank. So we got two benefits in there. It's affordable and gets me to my desired result. So every single line of copy has to be answering those questions. So if we get right here, they got a social proof line, FDA cleared. So why does that matter that's FDA cleared? Because it's skin safe. That way I know I'm not burning my skin. There's no potential issues there. Because yeah, I would imagine that's probably their biggest objection. Is this cleared? Is this actually safe for us? So they automatically handle that objection and do it in a way that answers what is in it for me. Now, my third tip for creating high converting dropshipping product pages is nailing your social proof. Because for the majority of dropshippers, the only form of social proof you have on your product pages is if you scroll all the way down to your review section. And if you have any heat map software like a Hotjar or a Microsoft Clarity, you'll realize that around 10% of people will actually scroll down this far, which means you have to have social proof littered throughout the top, the middle, and the bottom of your product pages. But what are the different ways that you can show social proof outside of just your review section? Well, you can highlight 3 important customer reviews, which most people will do, that handle certain objections. So you want to talk about in your reviews how your customers tried other alternatives, but it didn't work, how they struggled with this problem. And then once they tried your product, it was the exact thing that got them the result in a certain time frame. Just looking at these ones, for instance, I've had shoulder issues for as long as I can remember. So I've been dealing with the problem forever. I finally found the massager that actually works, and it has multiple strength and heat levels. I feel 15 years younger, so I got that desired transformation. Now, if I was to critique these, I would say I could have done a better job of talking about the time frame, so how fast people notice a difference, whether it was in a few weeks, a few days, after a few minutes of treatment. That would have been a great way to spice things up. But I want you to count with me how many different forms of social proof I have on this product page. So if we go straight up from our announcement banner, loved by 15,000 customers, that's an easy thing all of you can do to have social proof. Then if we scroll on down, enjoy painless nights on one of the product images from Men's Health, that's social proof from a magazine, authority figure. Then if we scroll on down, we got Facebook comments from tons of happy customers. This is only about, I think, 8 to 10 reviews, nothing too crazy, but all of these handle objections. Led by over 15,000 happy customers, we highlight 3 testimonial reviews. Then we have our Trustpilot section, which is from sections.store, which is a Shopify app that allows you to add a section like this to any theme. So all of you guys can have this section for around $9. Then finally at the bottom, we have a reviews section. So we easily have 8 different forms of social proof right here on this product page alone. So let's take a look at some other forms of social proof that you can add to your product page to improve the trust and your conversion rate. So if we look at this brand, Silky Sonic, they have a quote in the above the fold. So they got their bullet point benefits. It looks beautiful. And they have this nice 1 to 2 sentence review that they're highlighting at the top. And you can do that through a variety of ways. Now, next, before and afters. If you have a visual product where you can actually see the transformation happening visually, then you should have before and afters. They're highlighted in a format like this where, yeah, you're highlighting 3. Usually the rule of 3 is the way to go. And you want to keep it to around 2 to 3 sentences with each one of your testimonials, just highlighting certain great benefits in handling objections. Now, I'm not a big fan of this highlighted quote right here. I don't think they really need that, but give them a lot of credit for the before and after that they got going on. Now, typically the product page that I reference the most when it comes to social proof is from Tabs Chocolate. I think they've absolutely nailed their social proof section all around. If we go to the top, 200,000 happy customers. We got in their product images as seen on these different magazines, tons of social proof. Then we have an image here of a review testimonial from one of their customers that got the product down here. This is super well done. Scrolling on down, a highlighted quote. So they got multiple highlighted quotes. And as we keep on scrolling down, you're going to see more and more forms of social proof through video testimonials. And you can add video testimonials through the section.store app on Shopify, where you can just add the videos from either TikTok or wherever you're downloading from. You can just upload the MP4 videos. Then finally, more highlighted quotes, 200,000 happy customers, a reviews section. There is so many different forms of social proof to show you that this product actually works. And that's the whole point of having all these reviews, to show them that it actually gets you to your desired result, because believability is really one of the key objections you're going to have. Does this product actually work for me? And I would say the final form of social proof that you can do is having an authority figure like a celebrity or a doctor that knows a lot about the space that vets this product works. You see that a lot with the toothpaste ads. 9 out of 10 dentists recommend Crest teeth whitening. You know the gist. And as we scroll on down on this heated knee pain relief massager, we can see here that this doctor, nice little photo, recommends this product. We have a quote. Obviously, you should probably spell orthopedic right if you want to get the full 10 out of 10 bonus points from Dobbins Marketing. But you can see there how it does add another layer of social proof. And if you see their competitors, they're also doing a similar thing. And it's really about how you execute these different forms of social proof. Because if we're comparing the two, I feel like this execution is way, way better. So you can have the social proof on your website, but are you executing it at a high enough level that is believable? Because that is truly the next step. Now, my fourth tip for improving your conversion rate is giving people a reason to buy today. And that's typically going to be through a sale ending soon or limited stock. And I'm going to show you a few examples of what I mean here. So if we go to this brand, which yes, is the Red Light Knee Relief Massager, we can see that they have their sale ends in a certain time frame. So they have a countdown timer that's giving people the urgency to buy today. Now you can set this up. There's evergreen timers that actually will be native, where if someone returns to this website an hour later, it actually will go down to 3 hours, 41 minutes. Now, my general rule when it comes to countdown timers is it should be between 2 to 5 hours. If it's under 10 minutes, which some people do, I feel like that's too aggressive and it's not as believable as, yes, this will be ending today, ending tonight. So you want to have some form of social proof, which could be the countdown timer. It could be through having an announcement banner at the top that says, hey, your sale's ending soon, or it ends tonight. Typically what most people will do is, yes, the sale is ending tonight. And you want to give people typically a reason why you're doing the sale, which could be, yes, it's a summer sale, it's a June sale, July sale, some sort of seasonal sale that's going on. Or if we look at this example from Montera, that they have a limited supply sale going on. So they got their BOGO offer, but only 7 units left in stock. Now, if you want this line of code, comment down below and I will give it to you. I use this on some of my stores and it does work particularly well, especially when you're doing clothing products as well. Now, my fifth and final tip for nailing your product page and getting it to convert at a high level is making sure you have the right app stack. So for me right now, the first most important thing for me is making sure my website loads fast, because for every second after 3 seconds that your product page loads, usually the drop off is around 20 to 30%. People are not going to wait a long time. So I use Flash Page Speed Optimizer to reduce the JavaScript, which is basically just the amount of data it takes to load my product page. It lazy loads it, so that way people can get on my website as fast as possible. Then from there, I want to have a sticky add to cart app. Now, there's many that do this. I prefer Zoorix, Zoorix, and some themes natively have a sticky add to cart, and I would recommend it because it lowers the amount of friction. If I'm scrolling down on this ginormous product page, not having a sticky add to cart isn't the best user experience compared to if I scroll down on this product page and I get all the way down here and I'm now ready to buy. I got this easy add to cart button that lets me get to that next step. And then of course, you should have an email and SMS app that is following up with people that add to cart but aren't purchasing, because that will at least recover 10 to 20% of your add to carts and make you a lot more money. So I have a full tutorial right here on the exact emails that I set up, the SMSs, so you can just copy and paste that into your business. I make it so easy for you because I absolutely love every single one of my pookies and my Discord kittens. So make sure to meow in the comment section if you love daddy too. All right, this is getting a little too cringe. Now, After you have all those apps, I'd say the final thing that you would really need after that point would be having an upsell app. So that way you can increase your AOV and make more money from every visitor. So in terms of upsell apps, there's so many out there. I usually use Upcart. So I'll just show you real quick how I have that set up. So if I go to my cart editor, usually the main things that I'm doing is I'm going to have an upsell of priority processing, which basically just means they can skip the line and they'll get their order as soon as possible. And you'd be shocked, around 30 to 40% of people are going to take that. So that's just free money on the table for you. And then of course, you want to do upsells of complementary products or of the same product that they're already adding to cart, because at this point, if you're having an app like this, you should know what your hero product is, the one that's driving all the sales. So you can just add the complementary one right here, so that way they can upgrade their order. Or if you know there's a complementary product like completing the set, there's a top you're selling and there's shorts or pants that can complement it, then of course that is a great way to increase AOV right there. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video, and watch this video next if you want to see me analyze websites like yours live in front of you.